leaders from across the globe are gathering in Geneva to find ways to improve the future of workers in the wake of changes to the global economy. The International Labour Organization is meeting under the theme of building a better future with decent work and marks 100 years since the ILO was founded. Julia Lyubova has been following the conference and she joins us now from Geneva. Hi, Julia. What have we heard from the ILO gathering so far?
Well, indeed, today is the first day of the International Labour Conference, and it's also the first day of its so-called high-level section. So this morning it was opened by a speech by the Swiss Federal Council as well as the head of the United Nations General Assembly. And then in the afternoon it was followed by speeches by various heads of states and other dignitaries. Some 44 leaders of countries around the world are here in Geneva, as well as prime ministers and vice presidents as well, and all of them gave speeches. It was started by the speech from an Italian president, which then followed by speeches from presidents of Ghana, South Africa, Prime Minister of Norway and Sweden, as well as the Turkish vice president. Mainly their speeches were focused on commemorating the 100th anniversary of the International Labour Organization, because that's what it is celebrating this year. So they were talking mainly about notable work done by the organization and its significance over the years throughout the world. And as well as today, we'll be having the second and third day on Tuesday and Wednesday of this high-level section with various European leaders and leaders from around the world will also be continuing to make their speeches.
We heard there from Paolo's package that around the world there are still thousands of workers being kept in slave-like conditions. I'm wondering, what else has the ILO identified as major challenges going forward for workers around the world?
Absolutely. There are many challenges and issues around the world that will be addressed at this International Labour Conference. And the future of work is the theme for this year, and so the delegates will be looking for solutions to the challenges, and they will be trying to adopt new rules to stop harassment and violence in the workplace. So over the next 10 days, delegates will be working towards a non-binding centenary declaration, which has to be adopted at the end of this conference. The head of the Director General of the ILO, of the International Labour Organization, in his earlier speech today, he has called for rules to stop harassment at workplace. Of course, that follows the Me Too movement around the world, and as well as that, robotics and gender inequality, minimum wage, labour conditions, all of these issues will be discussed through this conference, because they are identified by the organisation as major challenges in the workplace.
And has the ILO identified any major changes that countries should be enacting within their own systems of employment?
Well, absolutely. The main theme that the ILO is actually calling for action around the world is to stop harassment in the workplace. And on the table at this conference is the Global Treaty to protect employees from workplace abuse. There are some differences among delegations, especially regarding protection of LGBT people. But despite those differences, the declaration will have to be signed at the end of this conference, and it will be based on 10 recommendations.
Yes.
That includes investment in learning, social protection, adequate living limits, wages, and limits on working hours, as well as health and safety at work.
Okay, Julia Lyubova, thank you so much for keeping us up to date from Geneva.